You know, a death penalty case is it's a very unique animal. It's unique in the criminal justice system to any other type case. There's no other case like it. Because in a capital murder case, in a death penalty case, you have two factors involved, not just one. In almost every other case, you have the factor of, did the defendant do it? Did the defendant do it? And if so, what's the proper punishment? In a death penalty case, that's not true. In a death penalty case, you have two factors involved, primarily two factors. Did the defendant do it? And is there a probability that he will continue to commit future acts of violence? Those two factors are what death qualified that person. When I say death qualified, that doesn't mean that when you have those two factors present that you necessarily seek the death penalty. And speaking of the responsibility of the DA, who decides if you're going to seek the death penalty? You have a committee in your office? You've got the Chamber of Commerce and let them decide? It's your call. You have to make that decision. There are going to be people that don't agree with you. There are going to be people that say, I think in that case you should have sought the death penalty. You didn't. Then they want to know why. Or they're going to do those cases why you did. They're going to say, I don't think you should have. You justified me in why you did. You've got to kind of be prepared for that, because you know that's coming. But those are tough calls, discretionary calls. The law doesn't say, if this fact is present and this fact is present, you will seek the death penalty. That's easy, man. That's easy. The decision is made for you. Monkeys can make those kind of decisions. But you see, being DA is different. You got to make that call. And you kind of got to standardize your mental process so if certain things are present, each time one of those is present, it raises the level of awareness of whether you think you ought to seek the death penalty. It's not just high profile defendants. I mean, I tried to defend cases against defendants that nobody ever heard of before or since. But in my opinion, we're deserving of death penalty. That's why I saw it. So you have criteria, and those criteria apply across the board, whether in San Antonio or Houston or Lampasas or wherever.
These are criteria that you develop for yourself? Or
No, I mean, by statute. I mean, you have to look at the continuing threat. What's admissible as evidence to show continuing threat? What can you get into evidence? What kind of slug are you dealing with? Is he probably a one-time murderer? Was the murder so heinous that it in and of itself screams for the death penalty? That the community is outraged? Or is it a murder? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, murder is bad. I'm not trying to minimize it, but you got murder. You got a really bad murder. So you look at that. I mean, is it shot between the eyes at a bar? Or is it double axe, 50 times, chop the head off after the arms and fingers? That's murder. So you look at the egregious nature of the offense itself, its effect on the community. Then you look at the defendant. The defendant, somebody hopped up on drugs, never been in trouble before, and just goes ape crazy, but not crazy in the legal sense. Or a barroom fight that gets out of control, or a temper that finally goes over the edge. What drives people? Are they likely to do that again? Have they ever done anything like it? Then there's a difference between somebody who historically in their past is in trouble time and time and time and time and time again. And every time it's an act involving physical violence. It is now escalated to a point of egregious murder. Once those two factors start to come together, you say, then you got the death qualified defendant. Then you got to decide, are we going to seek the death penalty? Is it that type of case? And although it's a terrible standard and subject to a lot of debate and abuse, I know many defense attorneys would love to hear me say this, but you know in your heart of hearts, you know in your gut, you know if it's a death penalty case.